to me.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna go.
I think me is the first word that is recorded. So, hey.
Me.
Me.
Me. Imagine if the whole podcast episode is just us going me anytime something we didn't like comes on screen.
I mean, we can try that.
Me. I hate you.
Oh, that's just gonna end up being annoying for all of us, let's be honest.
Yeah, it would. We forget to do it. We'll just go straight into the point. I didn't like this bit.
Yeah, no, well, at least it's only a 30-minute long segment this time round, so hopefully, fingers crossed,
Yeah.
we'll be done soon. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Hello, everyone. Bit of a
Hi.
There.
yeah. According to continuity, people should be watching this in about a week and a bit's time, according to your timeline.
Nice.
But we are ahead of time. We can tell you what happened in the past.
Sideways. Slightly further to the left, it would have just gone straight in the ball.
I hear voices.
Oh, sorry. It's okay. Ryan just came in to tell me he dropped his phone in the toilet.
Oh,
Or
okay.
nearly dropped his phone in the toilet.
Ah, nearly. Okay. Well, that's
I was like, disappointing.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, either he's got really good reflexes or the phone dodged a bullet there.
I think the phone dodged a bullet. I think it was
my
just
God.
dumb luck.
Oh, fair enough. It's happened to all of us at one point in our lives. Then the real question is,
Yeah.
what was he doing in the toilet with a phone?
Takes it everywhere with him. I don't know. This just shows you how addicted everyone is to technology.
20th
Take your
century.
phone.
Fair enough. So, we're going to be talking about part 5 today. All the King's Horses. Okay.
Oh,
So, this is the segment where they bring Superman back to life. You know, like an hour and 10 minutes left in the film, or something like that. It's mental.
Not a lot of time at all.
Yeah, Superman, get on with it. It's like, oh Jesus, okay. But we start right away with them digging him up. Which is, you know,
yep.
grave robbery is always fun, I guess.
Oh yeah. Gotta love a bit of grave robbery.
Oh, yes. But, so we got
Wow.
Barry. Oh, hello.
Sorry. I'm playing through it and I didn't realise the sound was still on, so Barry just started talking and I was just like, ah, no!
Oh, okay, fair enough. I mean, Ezra Miller can
Okay.
do that to people. But, but yeah, the two of them are talking, and Barry's talking about, hey, we can do this in a nanosecond. Cyborg goes, yes, and it's never addressed again. And I'm like, okay, but why don't you do it in a nanosecond? Why take your time? Like,
Yeah.
I'd like a reason. Because any other time, I'd be like, alright, you know, it's a chill moment. But, you know, the world's literally about to end in about hours or maybe a day. Like clock's running. Clock is ticking. Why you chill?
They're literally on countdown to doomsday.
Yeah, like if you can move fast, then surely you would go as fast as you can to get, to get on with shit.
It's volcano day.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like
Moving
Pompeii
your
is about to
ass.
be buried. Let's go. But yeah, that they bring it up, they address it, but they never actually give a reason as to why they don't do it, which is kind of weird. It's almost like, oh yeah, we know we're going slow, but that's all we're gonna do. And it's like, oh.
I can only sorry.
No, go on. I was done.
I was just gonna say I can only imagine it was like them trying to be respectful towards the dead. I can only imagine that's where Zack's mind's was going with that line.
Yeah.
And how it was never addressed, like, oh yeah, just an understanding between the two of them where, it's not exactly the nicest of situations to be in. And forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that there might be a line in the theatrical cut where they address it a bit more, but I could be wrong.
I think so. Something along the lines of, oh, it's a bit macabre or something like that. Or they're not comfortable with it. I can't remember the exact line, but I think you are right about that. I think they do address it a bit more.
Yeah, so they're a bit more upfront, whereas this one kind of sidesteps the whole thing and just makes the audience think, I guess that's the reason.
I suppose. But if that was the case, I would have preferred they didn't bring it up at all, because now that you've drawn attention to it, you're kind of asking yourself, okay, so what is the reason? Why aren't you
That's
going so
very true.
fast? So it's almost like bringing attention. It's like if a robber is bringing himself attention at a bank. It's like you're kind of like, okay, now what? You know? So I think that's my one of my criticisms alongside bringing it up is like, if you weren't going to address it, I would rather them not bring it up whatsoever and just have me assume what the reason is. That's slightly better than bringing it up and not addressing it. But yeah, and then Flash goes on to say, oh yeah, Superman was his hero.
Yeah.
Why? Again, it's like, it's almost character development, but we don't get anything more than that. It's just, oh yeah, he was my hero. Why was he your hero? Because in the context of this world, he saved a few people, yes, but he also negligently leveled the city.
And he was vilified in BVS as well.
Yeah. He also,
by many people as well.
Yeah, he was a very divisive figure in this universe. It's like, why is he your hero?
It's one of my big complaints about the DC universe so far. It's like after BVS and even towards the end of BVS, it's like he's hailed as this big hero that everyone loved and the world and the whole world's mourning, and I'm just like, he didn't really feel that way in BVS.
It's almost
in BVS he was almost treated like Batman, like a case of like everyone hated him.
Yeah, in this universe, for lack of a better way of saying it, he was a very divisive character, even in universe. And the way they treat his funeral is like if Christopher Reeves' Superman died, and that's just kind of jarring.
Yeah,
definitely.
But
it's just always stuck out to me. Like I've just always been confused by it. They even have a little bit in Suicide Squad where the world's mourning his death.
Yeah. Oh God!
Why though?
And it's like I like that detail, and it's like I like that detail.
But why though?
But like, I'm pretty sure the world's been really divided up to this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. People are like, if he got pissed off, he could just like kill everybody, which he kind of does in the Injustice comics.
I mean, he's not too far away from it in this either, let's be honest. But yeah, you're absolutely right, David. And if we were to bring Suicide Squad into the conversation as well, that film happened during Superman's death. And according to this film, Superman's death was like a week, maybe 2 ago. So it's like,
so what? Suicide Squad literally happened in a day during a week or something? What the hell?
The timeline is kind of all over the place as a result of this, and it's like, oh my god. Yet another example of how these films have no idea about each other's existences.
Yeah. Honestly, they really should have just done standalone films instead of trying to turn it into a universe, because a universe requires building blocks that this is literally all like just... It feels like it's all just random.
Yeah, it's each director for themselves. Go.
Exactly, and they've not thought about it, and it's just like, that's why it falls down and doesn't work as a universe. Standalone films, it would probably be less noticeable and bad, but yeah.
Yeah, because I know Warner Brothers has really kind of prided itself with its DC projects as like director-driven projects. Like we get stuff like Joker and Zack Snyder films. James Wan's Aquaman is completely different from Zack Snyder's Aquaman.
Yeah.
You know, Shazam is its own thing. There's no communication between Shazam and the Black Adam film, which
Yeah.
we can only assume that they will tie in some way, shape, or form down the line, but there's no communication at all. I mean, it's really strange.
I would rather
Yeah.
them just be open and say, right, each character is its own thing, Justice League is its own thing, just make it clear instead of this.
Yeah,
it's like a completely lazy attempt to be like, well, Marvel have got a universe, we should make ours a universe, and it's like, yeah, but Marvel tie their stories together. You have completely different things going on in every film. Like, at least in the other films, they actually reference other things that happened in universe, and it actually makes sense.
Do you know what though? I will say, I guess Warner Brothers is similar to the narrative of Fox's X-Men films, where it's like, who knows?
Yeah.
If it makes sense, sure, it was always part of canon. If it doesn't, yeah, it wasn't part of canon.
Yeah.
It's a film. Find connections where you see them.
Yeah, the narrative
Yeah.
is subjective. It's whatever you want it to be. Have at it.
Yeah.
So
Have your own headcanons for even the stuff that's established.
yeah, because
Why not?
let's be honest, the X-Men films of like, if you try to make sense of them as one whole universe, I'm pretty sure your brain will melt out of your eyes. So
Yep.
I do love having headcanons about certain topics in films. But yeah, when you get into like the clear cut canon of some things like this, it's kind of confusing.
yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's fun to have headcanons that don't break the universe. Like, if you
Yeah.
have headcanons about certain people shipped with certain people, that doesn't really break the universe. That's just kind of fun.
Yeah,
But, like, when
exactly. It's something that is it's something that is special to you and that you see, and there's nothing wrong with that. And yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. And where I draw the line with headcanon is when people use it as an excuse for justifying why the film is good or bad. And I'm like, it's your
Yeah.
headcanon, bro. It's
that's
called
your headcanon,
headcanon for a
that's going on in
reason.
your head.
There's a
Doesn't
reason.
make the film good.
Yeah. Like, according to my headcanon, the Flash... Okay, so let's exercise headcanon for a moment. So imagine if the reason why the Flash said that Superman was his hero was because he was the first superpowered individual that he saw in the media, and him being out in the open gave him the courage to actually develop his Flash suit and be the Flash in his own way, quiet as he was till he was ready to come out. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that's headcanon, but none of it is backed up by the film.
Nope.
that's very true.
So, yeah, it's like...
Yeah, it's fine as long as you don't use it to be like, well, this is what the character's doing. It's like, that's what you think, or that's the kind of character you have in your head. That's not what's there, though.
Yeah, if the evidence is not in the film, don't use it as a defense for the film. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. That's also why queer baiting makes me very, very angry, because yeah, you can be like, in my head canon those are queer, and then people can be like, but they're not queer, and then it's kind of like, that's why it annoys me.
Oh my god, Beauty and the Beast was the worst for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, one of them at least. Jesus. Ooh. Well, I mean, 15 minutes in, we've talked about 15 seconds of the film.
Yeah, literally just talking about them digging up Superman.
Yeah. So, while Barry and Cyborg were digging them up, Aquaman and Wonder Woman. This is also another thing that I thought was weird. They refer to Diana as Wonder Woman, and we've never actually established when she got the moniker of Wonder Woman.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And let's be fair, I'm pretty sure by this point, we've seen more of Wonder Woman than any other character.
I think you might be right.
Yes.
Wonder Woman, World War 84, 4 hours of Justice League, compared to everyone else, that is a lot of footage with Wonder Woman, and we still don't know how she got the name Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Just decided to call
Well,
herself
like-
Wonder Woman one day. I don't know.
Yeah.
She was just like, Wonder Woman, that's
Like-
a good name. Market it.
It's not like let's use Tim Burton Batman as an example. It's not like the beginning of Batman '89 where Batman's quite clearly saying I'm Batman. Like obviously that would have to get out into the news somehow, but like it's firmly established. Oh yeah, I have the name Batman in this universe, so that's what I go by.
I'm just imagining Wonder Woman now. Like anytime she apprehends somebody, just going, "I'm Wonder Woman."
With the gruff voice as well, it's like, I'm Wonder Woman. It's like, oh Jesus. But like, never mind Batman '89. Let's stick to this universe. Even Man of Steel established, oh, it's the alien. That's what they're calling him, Superman. It's like, okay, there's a precedent for it, you know?
True.
Even
true.
Batman, he was already established. Wonder Woman, it's just like, kind of fell out of the ether.
Yeah, she's just kind of like, "What up? I'm here."
Yeah. So I find it interesting how we've got Flash and Cyborg, who were, let's be honest, created through mishaps and a mistake from nature and accidents. And then you've got two royals from two different species talk in the background. And I thought, there's an interesting dynamic here where you've got Arthur, who's rightfully in line for the Atlantean throne, and then Diana, who is technically next in line to rule Themyscira. So we've got two rulers and two, quote-unquote, in the almighty words of Powerpuff Girls, accident children, just having a conversation with each other. And I thought there's a really cool conversation on both sides to be had.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's incredibly bare bones, unfortunately. Even the
It
conversation...
feels like they've been separated into cliques
Yeah.
in this shot. Like, because I'm just looking at a shot of the two, Wonder Woman and Aquaman are sitting in the van, just sat on their asses, not doing anything. And then the other two are digging up Superman, and it's like, oh wow, there's now a power imbalance that I never noticed before.
Oh, the power balance. We'll get to that in time, but goddamn, the power dynamics in this film are broken. Which you think I can understand why they're sitting around, because they've got the fastest man alive digging a grave slowly.
Makes sense. I just thought that was
this would be a
interesting.
1 second job with tops.
Yeah. And I think it's really interesting too.
I just thought it was interesting.
Like, if there was, I mean, in a 4-hour film, you'd think there'd be space to actually explore this, but imagine if there was like a 2-3 minute long conversation between Arthur and Diana about, you know, what it means to be of noble blood and, you know, the responsibilities and stuff like that, while contrasting that with Barry and Cyborg over here going about, hey, so, you know what, how'd you get your powers and stuff like that, just figuring each other out, building a rapport between them bit by bit, you know, 2 characters by 2 characters, and then 3 by 3, 4 by 4, till it's a big cohesive unit by the end of the film. But it's not.
Yeah. Like I said, this tied in well with the whole they're not a team yet.
Yeah, and yeah, I suppose you're right, and this is the first step of them building that camaraderie between them. So yeah, I guess there is a benefit to them slowly building up at this point. So yeah, you make a good point there.
Do you want to know what I've just thought about?
Oh my!
Sorry, this is going back to the whole how did Wonder Woman get her name business.
Oh right, sure.
But lest we forget, this is the universe where Lex Luthor had files.
The PowerPoint presentation
with each of the members' logos on them.
You are very right, sir.
Yeah. She saw a W and she was like, Wonder Woman. Yeah.
So Lex Luthor created the names for all of these guys.
Potentially.
It was Luther all along.
Oh my god, he is the leader of the Justice League.
Dun dun dun.
Mind blown.
I
Yeah.
was not expecting that.
No, me neither. Shocking.
So now that we get to Arthur and Diana talking, it gets to like, oh hey, an Atlantean and an Amazonian talking and working together. This hasn't happened in millennia. And it's like, okay, we're kind of world building. I'm into it. And I think the most interesting thing about this conversation was when both the Atlanteans and Amazonians apparently had a similar saying, which goes all the way back to, you know, when the world was united. And I thought, oh, that's a neat little detail. But the rest of the conversation was incredibly, surface level in terms of what they talk about. Because it's like, oh, Arthur doesn't like Atlanteans. Don't worry, I'm on your side. And it's like, oh, okay. That was it.
Yeah, and then it was like, hate is useless. And he goes, yep. And I was like, okay, why was that conversation had if they agree?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is there going to be some conflict where he's like, well, it's been helping me, bitch. But it was like, oh, he agrees with
Jesus.
you. Okay.
Oh,
I don't know. I was expecting him to be like, well, yeah, I hate people, so there. I don't know.
I mean, you could have tied that up actually, because in this film, when he was talking to, you know, the man-hater, he was like, oh, like, he clearly hates his mom for abandoning him, so you could have done something with hate, but, you know, they don't.
Yeah. Also, he seems to really not like Atlanteans, so it could have been like a whole, I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna have a conversation about that, like, at least tie it in somewhere, because it just seemed like a weird thing to throw in, where it's just like, hate's useless. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and it's like,
Okay.
I mean, you could have had a really interesting, nuanced conversation about how hate can be used for good, like Batman redirecting his hate. Like, that's hate, but it's not useless, you know? Hate can be useful if you direct it in a positive way, so there is a conversation here. But there isn't, and that's frustrating.
Yeah. It's like I don't know, it's like the writer was like, how can I wrap this up? Hate's useless. Yep, you're right.
I mean,
Got it. Sorted.
If only they had a bit of time to let this film breathe.
Yeah, it's sort of starting to, after this scene, I feel like it starts becoming breakneck speed.
Oh, that was a joke towards the length, by the way, because like 4 hours is plenty of time, guys. Come on, but yeah. Now, the Flash. I think we spoke about it in one of the previous episodes, but the Flash also then asks Victor if, oh, do you think she'll go for younger guys? And Victor just goes, dude, she's 5,000 years old. Every guy's a younger dude. And he's like, oh, well, he's got a point there. And that kind of made me chuckle. But, like, that's the best I can say about this scene. It gave me a chuckle. But I think we spoke about it in either the first or second part of this epic conversation as well. Like, that brings up issues on Wonder Woman's age and the continuity of the previous 2 Wonder Woman films, so let's not draw too much attention to it, because that breaks those films.
Yeah, but I mean, you said that he could just be saying she's 5,000 years, like, not being accurate, just like throwing a random number out there to be like, she's freaking old, dude.
Yeah, like, it could just be an estimation.
Which was a good point.
I was thinking that, but at the same time...
But it doesn't say she's like, it just says she's 5,000 years old, so it's like, wait, is that how old she is?
Yeah, so 2 things. A, the specificity of him saying, yeah, she's 5,000 years old, like you brought up. And also, 5,000 has come up a few times in this film. So the repetition of it is making me think, oh, the accuracy of it, you know? Like, the battle happened 5,000 years ago. This happened 5,000 years ago. She was born 5,000 years ago. So that just, when there's a repetition, then it just reinforces an idea. So that's why I'm like, Wait, is she actually, or there's a confusion as a result of that?
Yeah, see, because I thought the line was, dude, she's like 5,000 years old. Which is why when you said, oh, it's probably just an estimate, I was like, yeah, you're probably right. But now, like, looking at it again, because I've got subtitles on as well, he just says she's 5,000 years old. So it's almost like he knows for a fact she's 5,000 years old, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Her age is broken.
That's not the only thing broken in this universe, but
yeah,
you know.
Maybe that's super nitpicky, but it just irritated me because it's like if you're gonna have a character be so many years old, like pick an age and stick to it.
Yeah, absolutely, and like we can say, oh, it's nitpicky, but in the grand scheme of things, it helps continuity, and even though it's a nitpick, it is still a criticism. It's a paper cut compared to a bullet wound, but it's still a paper cut. It still hurts.
Yeah. It's just irritating more than anything. It's like, if you're going to have a character an age... Like, in regular films where the characters are normal ages, you don't suddenly go, they're 21. Actually, no, I lied. They are actually 18.
Yeah. Or at least if it's like Lord of the Rings, where Gandalf just goes, I have lived the lives of 80 men, and now I am out of time or something. I think I'm paraphrasing the line, but you think, 80 men, give or take, they live about 60, 70 years old, and then you can make a rough estimate of how old Gandalf is. It's not specific, but it gives you a rough estimation. So, if that was the case, I'd be like, okay, it's like, cool. But, again, it's the specificity of the language they use that really breaks the universe.
Yeah, I know in terms of like Doctor Who, in the classic series, there were times where the Doctor's age was all over the place. Like there was times where he was sometimes older than other incarnations that were much earlier, and by the time the modern series rolled around, they kind of rounded it up to 900 years old. And then they've kind of kept pretty consistent with that since then. So it's kind of like pick an age and go from there.
Yeah. And if you can't decide on one, just start the universe, take a dartboard, different ages, throw it, and stick to it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've spoken for half an hour, nearly, and we've gone through about 2 minutes of the film, so we're making great time.
Absolutely.
Why? And next we come to Alfred doing mechanicisms in the cave. Well, not the cave, but the hangar with Bruce Wayne in the car. So, hey. Now, during this conversation, what basically happens is Alfred goes, flying machine is not working. And then Bruce just goes, okay, it's fine, we'll find the alternative way in. He's like, okay, cool, he's got a backup plan. Nice. And then Alfred starts to question him, okay, is this really a good plan though? Because if Superman comes back and he's kind of tismy, it might go bad. And this is something I really don't like about Batman from this point on in the film, and that is the fact that he says, when Alfred asks, how do you know for sure? It's like, what is your plan? And Batman just goes, I'm relying on fate. And I'm like, okay.
No.
I see what you're trying. I see what you're trying to do, film. I do, having faith in Superman, the godlike figure, the religious-isms. I get it. I do. I get what you're trying to do. But this is Batman. The guy who has 3 contingency plans for the contingency plan. He doesn't go on fate.
I know. I feel like this is like if he was trying to play a chess game and he's like, I'm just going to move the pieces and see what happens.
I'm going to wing it, bro. It's like, oh, Jesus, okay.
That's not how you play chess.
No. And especially coming from Batman, like, that really rubbed me the wrong way.
It doesn't seem like a very Batman-esque thing, because it seems like, again, he's spent years, like, having contingency plans and stuff because he's like not superhuman and can easily die. I feel like he has to basically rely on reason a lot of the time.
And then you go from the previous film, where he's like, we have to act on an absolute certainty when it comes towards Superman. And then in this film, it's like, oh yeah, we've got to rely on faith.
Just
Accurate.
The mood. But yeah, you guys are absolutely right. So it's just oh, go on.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, I suppose like this is reaching, but I suppose in a way it's kind of like trying to show that Batman is trying to kind of think like Superman in a way. Like I said, I'm reaching here, but it's like he's trying to think like Superman and trying to think in a way that he hasn't thought before, because this is a brand new situation to him. But like I said, I'm reaching.
No, that's fine, because like I was kind of in the same ballpark as you in terms of what the rationale is behind him going blind faith. I was thinking, oh, okay, like Clark is supposed to be the hopeful person, and you know, Bruce is supposed to be
there, but it's said that it is.
Yeah, people say he is. I'm yet to see it, you know, but and then Bruce is the skeptical one, whereas now he's like, I'm trying to be like Clark because Clark is what the world needs, hope and positivity. And I'm like, I mean, yes, you are correct in that sense, but in this universe he really hasn't even smiled much, so come on.
He hasn't said much either.
This is true. He doesn't say much in this film either.
How many lines does he have in this film? Can you count it on one hand?
Well, Steppenwolf probably could with his 14 fingers.
True.
I can't even remember half the shit Superman says in this movie. It might be because I've not watched the film in a while, but yeah.
It's really not much at all.
I remember I've been given a second chance, and that's about it.
Well,
No, I can't remember anything. Then again, that just sums up me in general. I can't remember anything.
Yet. But yeah, like that, going back to the original point, that Faith line, and he brings it up later on as well, and I'm like, fucking stop saying that. You're Batman. Oh. But yeah, eventually they do get the casket out, stuff it in the van, and they carry it away. And during this time, Silas Stone...
And they look at it.
Oh god, yeah. A bit too long.
They look at it for a long time, sigh, and then say, okay.
Like, I get what they were going for, you know, it's like having a bit of a reverence towards this being, but, like, yes, we did see him saving people, thank God, but he hasn't exactly been the bastion of hope, really, has he? Just...
No.
Like, again, if this was Christopher Reeves' Superman, like, I'd be far more on board with them having this much reverence. You know? Like,
definitely.
If this was, like, after Superman 2, and them having Batman v Superman, and then having Justice League, I'd be, like, far more on board with it, but at this point, I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever you say, Phil.
If you say so.
Yeah, I mean, at least you believe it. So...
having some faith.
Yeah. And some baggy wrinkles. But yeah, Silas Stone is free to leave the quarantine zone because he's free of any alien pathogens. And he leaves. Now, okay, so this part here, I'm gonna send you guys a screenshot so you know what I'm talking about. When Barry is asking Arthur, oh,
The hat.
yeah, the hat, exactly. It's like, oh, which one looks better?
That's the bit I'm on, isn't it?
I was thinking, ooh.
I am on the exact same bit.
Ah, the synergy.
I love it.
I was thinking, there was a really cool comedic thing you could have done there if you were willing to, God forbid, take your time, but If only they could have found some time in this 4-hour film. But
If only.
imagine if it starts out with Barry going, "Oh, how does this look?" And then Arthur goes, "Try the other one." And then instead of Arthur giving him an answer, he just starts messing with Barry. And then it shows the camaraderie building between the two of them. And then like Diana or Cyborg coming by, Cyborg, because he's the fucking buzzkill in this film, just comes by and says, "He's messing with you, Barry." And then Barry just going, "Oh, you're just muttering to himself," and gets in the truck or something. There's something there.
Yeah.
Again, they just don't use it.
I don't know. I think Snyder's allergic to jokes.
I don't know. Like, Legend of the Guardians had some pretty decent jokes. I don't understand. Oh.
Maybe he did that and then realised he's allergic to jokes. So I can't be having no more jokes. Just
Like
I'm
that-
allergic. I can't.
That film is such an anomaly in his filmography, genuinely. Like, it's like George Miller and Happy Feet or Babe. It just baffles me.
Was she with you? I thought she was with you.
It's like imagine if Wes Craven did a rom-com. Like, that's how jarring it is.
Yeah, that would be weird.
I would love to see
Also,
it,
because
though.
he's dead.
I mean, like, when he was still alive, if he went from nightmare
was
to a
gonna say.
rom-com. That's what I meant. But... but... yeah, regardless, they stuff the body and Cyborg into the truck, and they start going towards the military base, and Barry here is just fumbling like a buffoon, talking to the security guard, and I'm like, when the card is not registered the first time round, alarms should be ringing hardcore. But no, this guy just swipes it again, just in case. And that gives Cyborg the time to hack into the system, and I'm like, okay, what if you showed us Cyborg hacking in, them arriving, and then it approving right away and moving on? This scene is so
Much
unnecessarily
smoother.
padded.
Aye.
Aye, aye, oh, for
Barry, what the hell?
fuck's sake. That really just... I was thinking,
I was
how...
like-
Oh, go on.
I was like, you tried, film. You tried to be funny, but I was like, I'm sorry, the guy doing your ID, whether it went through or not, would probably be like, "Excuse me, what the fuck? We don't talk like that."
He would be stopped then and there with guards surrounding them with all sorts of weaponry. Like, especially considering how sensitive where they're trying to get into is. Like,
Yeah. Also, it did come back as an error the first time, and that would have been
Exactly.
immediately like, no.
like, secret alarm going off, surrounded, mission failed. You know, just like in GTA with the bomb wasted
Yeah.
sign coming up.
Yep.
Oh, it's just... This, like, cut this scene in half, reverse a
Also,
couple
the
of the
fact that-
scenes, and you would have been fine. Go on.
Also, the fact that he's like, okay, oh my god, it worked. It's like,
I know,
It's
right?
obvious.
It's like, if you
like,
were-
was that not given away?
if you weren't caught before, that should have been the moment where the guy's like, "Oh wait, you're not one of us, are you?" Ugh.
I was just.
Wait, what do you mean it worked?
Oh, it's-
Okay. Oh gee. Okay. Like, why? I hate you. Why?
Oh.
It was so sad because I was like, I really want to like your character because you have a little bit of like fun and sarcasm to you, but it's very hard.
Oh, it's no. Oh, now we're back to Ryan Choi, and Silas Stone comes back, and Ryan goes, "We have made some real progress." What's the progress? Fuck knows.
It's just
Just-
progress.
Progress.
We've made some real progress.
Yeah.
It's real progress. There you go.
Yeah. You know, the solid kind. Tangible.
As opposed to the fake progress.
Oh.
Can't be having none of that now.
Absolutely. Now, also, the Justice League are outside, and are you really telling me that this highly sensitive facility that has some of the most valuable equipment known to mankind is preserved? Like, there's no cameras every square centimeter picking up these guys dressed in fucking Halloween costumes trying to get in? Like, No.
Dressed like a bear.
Do you know what? Like, I think you sent me the trailers a while back, David, around the time this came out, and
Yeah.
I'm wondering why that line was suspiciously left out of this cut.
Very curious.
Because that was in the
Because that was-
theatrical.
Sorry.
Oh, no, go on. I was done.
No, I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, because that line was in the theatrical, but it wasn't in
Yeah.
this one. I wonder why. Mhm.
And I believe the first trailer that it appeared in was before the Joss Whedon hire.
Absolutely. It was before Zack left. Oh my.
So it's interesting that that line wasn't fit.
Yeah, definitely. Curious. But yeah, besides the fact that there are no cameras everywhere, no alarms going off considering that Cyborg is hacking. Curious.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do they have no malware stuff in there?
like
I would think.
I'm half and half on this because on the one hand, there should be multiple safeguards where if someone is trying to hack in, there should be alarms going all over the place because of what it is. But at the same time, they did establish that Cyborg is essentially Dr. Manhattan in this universe, so...
I was just gonna say, yeah,
That's fair.
Cyborg, so part of me thinks, wouldn't he be able to get around that somehow?
Yeah, exactly.
So I was okay with that.
Yeah.
Just because it's Cyborg, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he can hack into anything, and he can basically let the nukes go off, and I'm sure nukes have a safeguard protocol, so he probably could just get around any protocol of anything, really.
I guess my big issue is I'd like to see the struggle because we got to see him manipulating everything in the Lincoln Park in the End world, and I was just thinking, what if while he was hacking into the system, maybe we got to see a version of him in the Lincoln Park world and see what he's doing and just so that we get a sense of what he's doing instead of just his right eye twitching and everything working out.
See it more visualized.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But, it's not like it's a 4-hour film or anything like that.
It's not as though there's anything that they could cut to make room for that.
Yeah, I know, right? What? So, the alarms go off and everyone leaves except for Silas Stone. It's oh my god. And it's okay.
And he's that's ridiculous. There can't be any alien pathogens.
Yeah, so everyone else is believing this wholesale without any issues whatsoever, and it's only Silas that's saying that's kind of ridiculous, you should know this. So either Silas is that smart or everyone else is that stupid, and I'm not sure which it is.
Film doesn't really make it that clear, does it?
No. But then again, he was able to activate a mother box unwittingly somehow. I don't know. So, in world, apparently Silas is really smart. But sometimes when things like this happens, where he just stands back, if Silas went with them, and the Justice League comes in and goes into the ship, what do we really miss?
Not a lot, really.
I guess it's the one. If I were to try and come up with a defense, is that he stays behind because he gets to, see the silent approval of Cyborg, and I'm oh my, what a fucking joy. And this scene, when I was watching this for the first time, right, I was desperately begging Cyborg, say something to him, please, smile at him. He just gives him a nod and fucks off, and I'm fucking hell.
Yeah. I hate this, though. The bit where he's just like, "Oh, it's false. It's actually right. The alarms." Because like before that, he went, "Someone's hacked into it," and then he went, "Oh no, never mind."
Because
I was
that's
like, "You
not
already
gonna.
just said with conviction someone's hacked into it," and then you've just gone, "Actually, never mind."
I know, right? It's like alarm bells are not ringing inside people's heads. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, it's a mental sequence of events.
Sorry, I'm just trying to remember that scene. Is it Silas that says that?
Yeah, Silas
Yeah.
radios the guards and says, "No, it's a false alarm," and then
And
literally
then the guys walk in.
sees Cyborg for a second, and it's like, "Nah, I was wrong. It wasn't a false alarm. Doozies."
Yeah.
Just
The fact that he said we've been hacked, though, immediately I feel like people would be like, "Shit, we've been hacked. We need to figure out who hacked." No, yeah, I don't feel like if he went, "Oh, it's a legit alarm," actually, I don't feel like people would immediately just let that go.
yeah, exactly. It's like activate all the guns. You know, just we're gonna
I feel
defend
like-
this.
Yeah. I feel like at least somebody would come back in and check on him.
Yeah. Just to make sure, like, dude, you're okay, right? You're not being held up at gunpoint. Or
I mean, yeah, because the immediate switch of "we've been hacked," blanked out, like static, no noise. Actually, it's fine. Like anyone with a brain would go, "Has he been like held up at gunpoint?" Then again, none of them listened to him in the first place, so what do I know?
The way you describe that, Amy, I would love it if we get to see the soldiers' end of this conversation, where they're like, "Oh my god, get ready," and then there's just static, and there's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
something's happening." And like, "Oh, don't worry, it's okay. Something's up, boys. Get ready." And then just
Yeah.
like there's some real comedy on the opposite end of the conversation that we're just not seeing.
Yeah, that'd be really funny.
Oh. But yeah, Silas runs out. He joins the rest of the men while they go into Superman's ship. We get to see all the Man of Steel references, and it's like, oh my god, the hand swiping thing that's still not dusty after all this time. Like, I clean my fucking table, and then 3 days later it's covered in dust, man. You're not telling
Yeah,
me.
same.
Oh, it's like, no, that the handprints would have long since perished.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The worst thing for me is like hair. It just builds up everywhere. So like my table gets covered in hair and dust, and it's just like, this is the worst.
Then cobwebs all over the place, and it's just like,
Yeah.
the ship's pretty pristine considering no one's supposedly gone in there. And then as they're going past, it's like, oh, look, all the different costumes from the previous films. And then it's like, oh my god, the ship knows he's here. And I'm like,
Yeah.
really? Oh, I thought it was
The
just...
ship,
Okay, interesting.
like the ship's alive, is it? Oh, okay.
Is this the TARDIS?
I kind of just assumed it was based on life as opposed to Superman himself, but okay, whatever you say, Phil.
Oh, hey, penis robots.
Oh god, yeah, they're back. Hey. So, okay, this plan, right? Okay, so they try to explain it in Justice League, but in this one it's like, okay, you gotta create an electrical charge in order to wake up the mother box so that we can bring Superman back to life. Cool with that. I have no issue with that. My question is,
Okay.
why drop it and have the timing and stuff like that be so precise? And it's like, it's never really addressed, and I'm like, why drop it in the first place? Why not leave it in the water while it's touching? And
Yeah.
he just zaps it, and that's all you need. Like, it seems overly elaborate for no particular reason.
I think it's just because it wanted to be extra cool.
And plus, it's like, there's so much emphasis on, oh, we gotta get this right, we gotta get this right. And, like, the stakes are, you gotta wake up the box. If you don't, you can just go again.
Yeah.
And like, it breaks the tension when you realize, oh, they just need to wake it up, and you're not gonna get attacked until you wake it up. So if you don't wake it up, you can just try again a couple of times till you get it right. It's fine, guys. You don't need it to be a hole in one. It's cool. And now is when Arthur is having serious doubts.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Nice job, man.
Oh, before we get to the Flash's brilliant setup for the finale of the film, we go back to Lois. And she's missing Superman. And there's a pregnancy test. And I think she takes it. And
I'm not sure. It's implied.
yeah, it's weird. We see it. And I'm like, okay, if we're going to see it, clearly that's why she goes into the restroom. And I'm like, maybe? Question mark?
Yeah. At first, you know what? I thought she'd taken it and kept it. And I was like, that's a bit weird. And I was like, oh, it's a box. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
As
yeah,
someone
yeah.
who's taken multiple pregnancy tests, I was like, that's a bit weird to keep it in your drawer like that. Just saying.
Yeah, and it's like, there's something here. And, okay, so if she's just finding out she might be pregnant, then, like, the bathtub scene couldn't have been more than, like, a month, maybe?
Yeah.
Give or take? Like, not much time at all has passed, has it? Like,
Yeah, because I think we were talking about this in maybe the first episode, where we said that it really muddies the waters of how long Justice League takes place after
yeah.
BVS.
Because
And I
at
think
least
this is the scene that we were referring to.
among the many.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, at least BVS and Man of Steel, it was clear 18 months later. Okay, we have context. Let's go. Whereas this one is like, it could be a week, could be a month, could be a year. Who knows? Like, oh, okay. Weird.
I mean, she could have. They could have potentially conceived before the bathtub scene, and you know.
Then that makes the timeline even shorter, wouldn't it?
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think so. Because I mean, does it matter? Like, because obviously you can get pregnant within like a few weeks. You can find out you're pregnant quite early on.
Okay. Oh, wait, so how, because you have experience, how early would you say?
5 weeks, so...
5 weeks, okay.
At least that's when I found out. 5 weeks and I got a positive pregnancy test, so...
Okay, so then between the bathtub scene and this moment, 5 weeks have passed.
Possibly.
If we are to take the pregnancy test seriously.
Yeah.
Like,
also, we don't even see it, like, if it's positive or not. We just see her take it, so for all we know, she's not.
Yeah, and that's just...
I mean, if
It's
we...
still very confusing, don't get me wrong.
if we take Zack's explanations...
let's not, please. It makes it worse.
to heart, then the reason why Superman stops in the battle that's upcoming is because he could sense that Lois was pregnant with his child.
Not in the film, doesn't matter.
I agree.
If you don't include it, yeah, if you're just going to say it after the fact, like, dude, stop trying to do a J.K. Rowling where she's trying to explain shit afterwards.
Yeah, it's like... Look, if
you didn't include it, then we are not going to...
I completely agree, I'm just making a joke about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. But, okay, so this is what we've come to. A literal prop on set is making us go, so what's the timeline here? We're really confused.
Yeah.
That's the level of how broken this film is when it comes to time mechanics. And it's only going to get worse. So...
You done cool film.
Yeah, she takes the pregnancy... We assume she takes the pregnancy test. Meanwhile, they are thinking of how to bring the box back to life. Oh my. And the Flash goes, okay, if I get a fast enough charge, if I go fast enough at the speed of light, I can get a good charge, but I don't like to do it. My question is, why not?
Yeah, it's never explained.
And as we know earlier, there are 0 repercussions for you using it. So, now, not only is... Oh my god. I thought you just had enough.
No, my connection dropped.
Nah, it's fine. But, yeah, now we understand, as a result of this scene and the finale, the Justice League theoretically cannot lose because they've got the Flash. They can't lose any battle. But apparently, post-apocalypse happens. How? And also, the Flash in this film has a seriously ridiculously precise level of accuracy when it comes to moving through time. So how is it in BVS he comes back and goes, "Am I too soon?" Barry, how did you regress?
Very good question.
Oh.
And
It's all running
also...
around.
Sorry.
I was just saying it's all that running around. I was just making a dumb joke. Carry
Okay.
on.
It kind of makes me question, how does he know this in the first place?
I know, right? Like, okay, so I'm okay with him having world-altering, like, time mechanics that goes all tismy when he goes at the speed of light. I'm cool with that. Like, Flashpoint is based on that. So,
yeah, exactly.
Very cool with that. But at least, like, Flashpoint has repercussions. You know, like, one of my favorite quotes in that storyline is that, okay, if you break the sound barrier, time boom. And if you break the time barrier, time boom. Or something along those lines. And it's just basically showing that it's like Ashton Kutcher's butterfly effect. You change one thing, everything changes. You know, like a butterfly effect. Whereas in this, he can change time whenever the fuck he wants and nothing bad happens. I don't see why he doesn't use it more often. Like,
yeah.
Okay, maybe if it was not as extreme. Okay, instead of it being rather than time and the reality changing, maybe if it was detrimental to him, like his lifespan gets shorter or he ages up rapidly to the point where, you know, decades go by as a result of him using this power, you know, personally, or maybe, you know, him losing the ability to go into the Speed Force, like something really serious and debilitating that happens when he uses this power, but nothing around the world changes. I'd be okay with that too. But there is no reason why he shouldn't use this power as it is set up in this film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's literally
Agree
like,
with you.
oh, I don't like to use this power because bad things happen or something along those lines. And then he does it and it all turns out for the better.
Yeah. Like, he saves the world with this power, and it's like, oh, do it more. I'll buy you all the pizzas.
Oh, please.
And Bruce can.
Yep. If I was Bruce Wayne, I'd buy pizzas for everybody.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
So,
Pizza.
oh my god. Now, while Cyborg is hacking into the ship, Lois buys a coffee and walks to the gravesite, or not even the gravesite, his memorial, which is weird.
See, she can do it faster.
Yes, normal speed can work. But the impression we're getting from Lois' side of things is that, oh, this is going to be the last time she visits Superman's grave. And I'm like, okay, so imagine if the Justice League was doing this a day later. Are you telling me Superman would have gone on his murder rampage and killed everyone because
Apparently so.
Martha Manhunter told her to move on and get a life? Like, oh my god, like, Martha Manhunter could have retroactively, by mistake, ruined the world because he told Lois to move on. And Lois just happened to go one last... Like, coincidences are building up in this film hardcore. Like, it would have made more sense if the Martha scene wasn't in there, funnily enough. Because at least it's consistent with her morning routine.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Oy. So, the Flash is ready, and as they're counting down, Cyborg has a Disney flash forward?
Yeah, I think it's a flash forward.
Or a premonition to what might come. Is his dark side on a throne? Ooh, looking all angry. Diana is burning. Arthur gets cut in half. And Superman's crying because of a dead person, which I'm going to assume is Lois.
Yeah. I'm getting vibes that it was going to be the whole, she's pregnant and she accidentally dies, and then it makes Superman just turn into a dick.
Like an Injustice.
Scenario. Yeah.
But,
Was that a repurposed shot from Man of Steel?
It wouldn't surprise me, because I'm pretty sure in the nightmare sequence at the epilogue, I'm certain, I need to rewatch BVS to be sure, but I am certain that when Superman comes down, there's the same shot they used when he comes into the Africa sequence.
I completely agree with you. I'm certain that they repurposed those shots.
Yeah, because that's the same look he gives after killing Zod, isn't it?
For it not to be. It's too specific for it not to be.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Definitely.
I mean, if only he had the chance of, having the time to filming with his actors during principal photography.
Yeah.
Like, I love Zack. He seems like the nicest dude, but when shit like this happens in his films, I don't care how nice of a dude you are, he's still gonna get criticism, bro.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so here, because there's nothing explaining any of this, what I'm guessing is happening during the Superman Disney moment with the corpse on his hand is that he's feeling grief and loss and shit like that, and Darkseid comes along and repeats the anti-life equation to him, which is probably why he goes all evil and starts killing everything. But we don't know that, and the way the anti-life equation is in this film is kind of balked, so it's like, but is Superman's default setting just destroy everything like in Brightburn? Because if so, that's not very Superman-y.
Definitely not.
Oh yeah, and apparently...
Yeah.
and apparently it's supposed to be Kilowog that's supposed to be dead in the ruins of Metropolis, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah.
These Green Lanterns are fucking shit, man. Like, shooting lasers and fucking being a narcoleptic piece of shit that died in the history lesson, and now Kilowog is killed by Superman, and I'm like, can the Lanterns be cool for once, please?
They can't catch a break.
Oh, yeah.
But I was just gonna say I completely agree with you on your stance about Superman in these films, where it's like he just seems to be like this kind of destructive force.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm not a fan of it.
Genuinely, like, if you tell me that this universe is what happens after Brightburn, I'd be like, yeah, I can believe that.
I always wondered why I didn't particularly like this Superman, and I'm now like thinking it's pretty much because he just wants to break everything.
Like, when we take Superman from a traditional sense, this is as far away from a good Superman as you can possibly hope to get. Like,
that makes me sad. Like, I'm not a big fan of Superman as a character. I always think he's too overpowered to be interesting. But I like the Christopher Reeve ones. So.
Yeah, the wholesome ones. But see, I'm a huge Superman fan, and I do like these films. But if you ask me, is this a good representation of Superman? I'll say fuck no. Like, that's the thing. If I were to consider these as like Injustice and Elseworld side story of some maniac's mad vision, I'd be like, yeah, okay, sure. But if you're going to be saying, oh, this is like mainline Superman, what do you think? I'd be like, well, that's sad.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, have him be evil or whatever, but can we have good Superman first and then,
But can we have a good Superman? Just
It's one of those where I'm all up for taking characters in interesting directions. Just personally, for me, the take of Superman in these films is just not really my cup of tea.
yeah, I can
Yeah.
totally get why.
Same.
Now I would
Like fair enough if someone enjoys it, then yeah, sure. Just for me personally, it's just I don't like the arc that Superman undergoes, or some decisions that they make with the character during these arcs. I'm just not a fan, and it's not my cup of tea.
yeah, and it's mad because like there are so many interesting things you can do with Superman. And what I thought they were gonna do with this was okay, the first one kind of like a pseudo coming of age story, finding his place in the world. Okay, fine, cool. Bit of carnage at the end, but okay. If we go somewhere with it, I'm cool. And then BVS comes along, it's like, oh, putting Superman in a really interesting situation. Doesn't go anywhere with it, but it was an interesting idea. And then what I thought was by the time the third film comes out, we get the Christopher Reeve Superman. But we don't get that because they killed him at the end of the second film, and we don't get him till the third arc of this film. And I'm like, fucking hell.
And it's one of those where people say what you like about the theatrical cut, but they did try to go in that direction in a way.
True, he was smiling a lot more. He laughed in the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
Oh my god, really?
Like
What?
him
This
and
is madness.
I know him and Cyborg were just laughing, having a good time. He was shooting shit with the Flash, just. I'm really worried about watching Justice League, man.
Having said that, there is that awkward moment at the beginning of the film where he is that same Superman at the beginning of the film that is meant to be set before BVS.
Well. Well, we can't all be perfect. But yeah.
And then you get mustache gate as well. But that's another thing entirely.
But yeah, even mustache or not, at least he was close to being hopeful Superman,
Yeah. You could truly see the hope.
Absolutely.
Whereas this one, they're telling you that he's hopeful.
Yeah,
he's like a hopeful guy, honest.
It's almost like
it's there.
It's almost like you're holding someone hostage and punching them and saying, "I'm really not punching them, I swear to God." And I'm like, I want to believe you, but the evidence is telling me otherwise.
To me, it really shows the difference in takes these two filmmakers had.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of weird watching them both back.
Oh, did you watch it?
Oh no, I'm just saying, like.
Okay. So comparatively, right? Okay.
Because they're essentially meant to be the same Superman, and it's weird to see the two different directions that these two filmmakers went around, revolving around the same character.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, in one instance, you're getting fucking die-hard Superman, with Bruce Willis going around killing people. And then in the next scene, you're getting, like, Happy Gilmore. And it's like, fucking what? Like, the tonal shift is mental.
It's the same with a lot of the characters, with the theatrical cut and the Snyder cut, and, both are for better or for worse. Like I personally think that the Snyder cut does offer a stronger take in a few ways, but at the same time, there are also things of merit in the theatrical cut, as much as some people may not like to hear that.
I mean, we did praise it for the Flash scene in the previous episode, so fucking
Exactly.
hell, who knows if a hot take may come. But out of curiosity, like, what do you think the Snyder Cut does better with in terms of Superman, seeing as you brought it up earlier?
Oh no, not in terms of Superman. I was just talking about all the characters in general.
Oh, so consistency-wise, they do handle it
Yeah.
better. Gotcha. Okay, so here's a question before we move on with the rest of it. Like, we're all about consistency here, making sense and all of that. Do you guys, and I guess, David, this applies more to you because you've seen the original theatrical version, would you prefer a more consistent cast, like in Zactus League, or would you prefer the hopeful Superman that we did get in Justice League?
Oh.
Because that is the question.
I suppose a consistent cast, but I just wish it was better written.
Yeah, oh, isn't that the dream?
Yeah.
But I guess where I stand on it is, intellectually speaking, I prefer the consistent, well, what can be construed as consistent in this universe. Like, the consistent tone and characterization, but emotionally, I want the hopefulness, man.
Yeah, understandable.
And Amy, I guess this would go to you as well. Like, which would you prefer? Consistent characterization as we did have in Zactus League, or would you have preferred to have seen, even if it is breaking from continuity, a more hopeful world in this film?
Oh, I don't know.
Because one is intellectual and one is emotional, I would say. So I'm very curious to see where people land on this. So
I don't mind a non-hopeful Superman, but at the same time, it would be nice to have a hopeful one.
Absolutely.
But for me,
Yeah.
I feel like it just kind of works in terms of Snyder's films. His films always seem to have some kind of weird dark undertone to them.
Yeah, they're not exactly positive, are they?
Yeah. So I feel like it'd be very jarring.
Fair enough. I just thought I'd put it out there because,
Yeah.
like what David said earlier, really triggered something in my brain. So,
Emotionally wise, I think I'd prefer a hopeful Superman, but intellectually wise, I think my brain would just go, but that just seems weird now.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like any other time. Of course.
But yeah, in this case, I'd be like, this is just weird. You've set up a specific type of Superman, and now you've changed him. Like, if you were gonna, I would like a hopeful Superman where you've set it up for him to be hopeful, not a hopeful Superman that you've suddenly gone, I'm changing it now.
Yeah. Like if
It
there was
would break it too much for me and feel not genuine.
Yeah, like if there was an actual arc and he ended up hopeful, I'd be all for it. That would imply writing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, a nice little tangent.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
back to this film, I guess. But yeah,
Oh, if we must.
I forgot about that.
I know, right? It's like
We
everything.
were talking about a film.
I know, right? Like everything surrounding the film is far more interesting.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so Cyborg has a tis me moment where he's like, oh, no, and then Flash just goes, go, and then starts running, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I
was like, why?
like I groaned so hard. I'm pretty sure I lost a couple of years in my lifetime.
I think I just shouted what at the screen.
I was like.
I think I shouted at the screen a few times where Ryan just looked at me like, are you okay? I'm like, no. Both
Like-
physically and mentally, no.
I would have preferred it if Cyborg just went, no, having seen what he just saw, and then Barry just going, got it, and then just running hard as he can instead of just going, go, in like a
Go?
derpy way and then going.
Yeah. I was just like, what the hell? This is not the time for comedy.
But anyway, we get the setup where he is able to go back in time using the Speed Force, like we spoke about earlier, and he activates the box. And god damn it, like Flash, I would love it if he can just stay on his feet for more than 5 seconds when he's running, because he just falls over.
I know. Look, Roadrunner doesn't fall over, so the Flash shouldn't fall over this one. I'm using your point from last time, David.
We're back to it.
And it's like, the Flash is, for all intents and purposes, he has the durability of a human. So if he is crashing at that speeds, he should be vaporized.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Anywho, Superman does wake up and everyone's gasping. And Lois Lane sees this as well. And yeah, Superman is up and running.
Yeah, I'm just laughing because it looks like everybody looking up at the hole. They're like, "Fuck, we broke the building
Again."
Yeah, damn it.
Do you know what?
He just likes making holes in buildings, doesn't he?
No, continuity error.
What?
So
Really?
BVS, right? They crunch right through the roof of the ship, but there's no roof now, and they come back and Soups goes up and there's a hole in the roof again, and I'm like,
He made a new hole.
because it's not like BVS where the entire thing is covered up, like it's exposed. So I'm like, ooh, oh, interesting. I didn't notice that till now.
Wee.
But
Topless Superman.
oh my god, like, oh yeah, true. Topless Superman, best Superman. But yeah, you'd think, considering the mother boxes were so important, and knowing how much time we spent setting up the fact that as soon as this thing is activated, Steppenwolf is going to be coming down to collect it, that someone is going to be going to recover the box. But
Yeah.
no!
Makes sense.
That would require some sense. This film has got none.
But yeah.
Oh, we got the iconic superhero landing.
Yeah, oh, but before that, Superman's probably wondering, why is this rubble still here? Why hasn't anyone cleaned it up? It's so messy.
Yeah, that's what I'd be thinking. I'd be like, guys, you didn't really care about me, did you? You didn't clean my grave site very often.
It's his memorial as well, technically. His grave's all the way back in
Yeah.
Kansas. Oh, well, Metropolis could be in Kansas.
You
but...
didn't clean my memorial up, guys. That's why he's pissed. That's why he wants to kill everybody. He's like, guys, clean it up.
But do you know what? It's from this point on, like, if the first time I was watching it with me and my dad, it's like, oh, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, they're all there. And then the two of us just went, where's Batman? Do you think he's still getting an Uber here? And it's just like, oh, well, we can wait for him. It's like, Batman from this point on in the film is, for all intents and purposes, rendered, like, neutered in terms of effectiveness. Like,
Yeah, he's just kind of there. Like, hi, I put everyone together. I'm just gonna chill.
he is the definition of a participation award in this film from this point onwards. Because everyone else is
This is like-
superpowered.
Yeah. This is like Iron Man chilling in the background while the rest of the Avengers go off and do stuff. And he's just chilling there in the Avengers Tower, like, I guess I'll just watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can just imagine Batfleck in the background just running like Usain Bolt trying to catch up with them, and they're just well ahead of them.
Yeah.
But it's like, I would be okay if Batman was not here, if he was looking for the mother box, which we know is not the case. And that's disappointing. But I guess his fate will count for something. So yeah, iconic superhero moment. They're all gathered, and I'm just thinking, speak to him. Speak. Someone say something. Speak. Say something. But they don't.
Yeah. I'm just watching the back and forth shots as you're saying that, and I'm like, that's exactly what was going on in my head while I was watching this scene. Talk. Do something. Anything, please.
Yeah, it's just...
I'm all for suspense. This is just like, this isn't suspense. This is beyond this is becoming parody at this point.
I know, right? It's like, okay, you brought Superman back. Wouldn't it behoove any of you to just go, "Hey, Superman, we're glad you're back." Right, so here's the dealio. You know? Oh. But, okay, so I think it was in episode 2 or something like that, but we were talking about, Cyborg has alluded to self-defense mechanisms, and it's like, okay, you don't explicitly show it, but it is there, so I'll take your word for it, film. So him losing his shit now, I'm okay with, because it is technically, in the loosest of senses, set up.
I hate that word.
But then,
but at the same time, it's never addressed again.
Exactly.
It's like, auto-defense. Where's the auto-defense when you're getting attacked by a bunch of demons and Steppenwolf? Hello? Why is it kicking in when you're not even in danger? This is weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Like literally before Superman shows up in the final battle and Steppenwolf is trying to bring his axe down on Cyborg, it's like, where's the defense mechanisms there?
I know, right?
Yeah, the auto-defense might have come in handy then.
Like, if you're gonna be
I guess it just works when the plot wants it to.
I know, right? So, but it's like, okay, so even if his auto defenses were going up, why didn't any of the other Justice League members come up and, like, Wonder Woman could have deflected it, Flash could have pushed him, Aquaman could have stabbed him with his quindent. Something to try and stop this thing from creating a fight with the most powerful being on this planet. Guys!
I love how Wonder Woman's just like, no! Yeah, because that's gonna stop him.
Oh, it's not even that. What really annoys me about that line is the fact that she goes, "Kal-El, no!" I'm like, fucking Clark!
Yeah. Like,
I love that moment just for the memes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like, it's such a poor line delivery.
Yeah. It's like she's trying to tell off a naughty toddler, but she's just lost the will. Now she's just like, no, they're gonna do it anyway, but no.
Oh, it's like, it kind of reminds me of
that.
It kind of reminds me of Tommy Wiseau going, "I didn't do it." Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it kind of reminds me of, only Tommy does it better. But, like, okay, I get what they're trying to do, It's like, oh, Wonder Woman, the superpowered being going Kal-El, the two gods referring to each other by their names. Like, okay, fine. And then Bruce comes along and calls him Clark, the human side of him. Fine, I get it, but Clark is human. That's the point of Superman. He is essentially human in all ways but physically. Please treat him as a human. Film, please. Oh.
He's gonna pick up his head.
Yeah. And then apparently Cyborg can tank one of his lasers, which is interesting, and nearly kills a policeman in the process of it. Holy shit! Like, if Lois Lane does not exist in this world at this point in time, because Superman's like, why is Superman's default setting murder, death, kill? Like, why?
I don't know. I was like, is it because he's just attacked him, so he's now seeing them all as a threat? But it was like, it was only Cyborg that went for him, so I was like, okay, is he just gonna go for Cyborg now?
The reason why I would say no, no, it's even before that, he's scanning them for some reason. Why?
Yeah. That was very confusing to me. At first I was like, oh, is he just disorientated because he's having all the, like, the sensory overload? I was like, oh, is he having sensory overload? Is he gonna have, like, a meltdown because he's, like, not a kid now and he hasn't got his mum? So does that mean, I was like, oh my god, is he just gonna have an absolute meltdown? Which was my first thought. And then I was like, why is he scanning them?
Yeah, like, that would have been kind of interesting, where all of the senses are coming back and overloading him, and he slowly has to take control. Like, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, absolutely disorientated.
I was excited.
Memory loss.
Like, I can't believe I'm going to say this again, but we were making fun of it earlier with the Pet Sematary thing, but at least it tries to explain what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about the Pet Sematary absolutely works.
Like, okay, like, it's a shit plant in the theatrical cut, but at least it tries to make sense of what's happening. Fucking hell, film, I don't want to praise Justice League.
Yeah,
Stop it.
It's
Get
one
some
of
help.
it's one of those things where it just kind of happens in this film.
Yeah.
Like we can tell through Henry's performance that something is happening, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I get that you're disorientated, but why are you taking it to this extreme?
Yeah. Again, I was like, oh my god, meltdown, that'd be cool. No, I didn't get what I wanted, and I was like, I am so disappointed. I'm not mad, Phil. I'm just disappointed.
Which is the quote of this film, really. Oh.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Yep.
Yeah. But it's like, okay, so after that, a fucking mishap from Cyborg's end, we end up fighting, and Aquaman.
Fight. Sorry.
Aquaman just ends up fucking getting yeeted out of the park.
Oh yeah, I just had the yeet sound effect in my head when he got thrown across the room, just like yeet.
And then
It made me laugh.
Wonder Woman
Which I don't think is what they were going for, but I was like, that's funny.
Yeah. It was like Wonder Woman gets punched. I don't know what Cyborg did, but literally like a laser or an icicle thing, and Superman kind of struggled, and I don't understand why he struggled.
Some kind of blue thing hit him.
Yeah. And then
in the face.
Yeah. Oh, Wonder Woman finally uses the lasso, the thing she keeps forgetting she has. But Superman grabs hold of it, and she starts pleading with him while the fucking wailing woman starts in the background, going, ah! Yeah. And then she just goes, Kal-El, the last son of Krypton. And I'm just thinking, for fuck's sake, maybe if you call him Clark, he might remember who he is, you fucking dumb bitch. Fucking hell. Just stick to the 80s and raping men. It's clearly what you're good at.
Oh, God. No. Just no.
Oh my god, like thinking about the opening of this film when the girl asks, Can I be like you? And I'm like, you really don't want to be a rapist when you grow up, little girl, trust me.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
But yeah. She's just anyway, she's trying to pull Clark. He overpowers her and grabs her midair. Oh my god. Then Aqua jumps, grabs him too.
Everybody grabs him.
And then, okay, I will give the film this. I do like Barry's reaction to Superman just seeing him in slow motion.
I thought that was cool. Like the peripheral, and he's like, shit, he can see me. I'm fucked.
And his gormless expression.
I love that scene in the theatrical cut, and I love that scene in the Snyder cut.
Yeah. My one issue is that when Superman is moving in slow motion, his movements are so wonky. It just took me out of the film.
Yeah, it looks weird. It definitely looks weird.
And, okay. So here was something interesting. Like, also I gotta send you guys this. What a frame I stopped on. But, because that too, but I'm sending another one now, but like
what?
This could have been something really interesting, because earlier on in this chapter we got Barry saying, oh, Superman was my hero. Like right now your hero is trying to murder death kill you hardcore. Like there is something really interesting you could have done here, where it's like Barry having an existential crisis because his hero is trying to kill him, but it's not, and he fucking falls over again.
Yeah, but also could have been a little joke in you should never meet your heroes or something like that. I would have put that in there.
after the
yeah.
fight would have been more appropriate. When maybe if, after the fight, Barry's having a meltdown, and then Aquaman just goes, "Never meet your heroes, bro," or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mean like now, because
yeah.
now it'd just be weird. It'd be like, never meet your heroes. You're just gonna get punched in the face.
And
Maybe focus on the fact that you're almost gonna die.
Yeah.
Instead of making jokes, dude.
It's not Ant-Man, but but yeah, it's Superman is about to laser Flash in half, and I have to say, this soldier who grabs his attention by shooting him is a fucking hero and does not get the credit he deserves. Because if not for that militaryman who happened to be there at that particular time and does nothing else throughout the rest of the fight, if he wasn't there, Flash would have been cut in half.
Yep.
And what the humans get as a thank you is lasered in half. Our Superman.
I mean, if they loved him before this, they're not going to love him now. He's just nearly murdered a bunch of people.
Oy. But Batman finally makes it to the fight. Remember him?
Yeah. He's in this film.
I want some shots of him trying to get there. Like, stuck in traffic.
Literally.
Helping an old lady across the road, you know.
Him just running like Usain Bolt. That's what I want. It's like, I'll get there, guys.
I want a scene of, like, at the start of Incredibles where he's trying to get to the wedding.
Oh my
bunch of
god.
stuff stopping him. That's what I want.
That would be more interesting.
Do you know the scene in Chariots of Fire?
Oh, which one?
Which one?
Where the music is playing and the running.
On the beach, yeah.
Yeah.
that music is playing as Batman's running.
In slow motion with the same music.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you have a Ferris Bueller thing going on where he's like flipping over fences and stuff to get there.
Or maybe like in Shaun of the Dead where he's like trying to run over the fence but the fence collapses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in Hot Fuzz where he just runs through the fence.
Oh man. The greater good.
The greater good.
Stop saying that! It's shocking how much of Hot Fuzz I remember, considering I only watched it a few times when it first came out. I need to watch that film again, man.
I love it.
It's
I
so good.
suggested we talk about the Cornetto trilogy, so I think we should do that.
Genuinely, I'd be so happy, because, fucking good writing. I need a break from this.
14 years. That's how old
Hot Fuzz?
is. Yeah.
Jeez.
It's still
14 years old.
So, I haven't seen it in like 12 years.
And
I'm excited
Shaun
to
of,
watch it again.
Shaun of the Dead is 17.
Oh, I'm excited to watch that too. I'm excited to watch
Jeez.
all of them again.
Like, it's mad. I've seen Shaun and World's End like last year, but I didn't see Hot Fuzz. I don't know why. Fucking hell. But
I've only watched World's End once, and that was in the cinema, so it'd be interesting to go back to see that again.
I enjoyed it.
I liked it,
I
but
like it.
I'd say it's the
like-
weakest of the three, but it's still
Yeah.
good.
yeah, I would
Yeah,
say like
I agree
out
with
of
you.
all of them, it's the weakest one. But I liked it. I just haven't rewatched it again. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
I'd love to talk about the Cornetto trilogy slowly, like this.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh,
Yeah.
So many little things to pick up on.
absolutely. Okay, so back to this film. Just get this
Yeah.
fucker
Yeah.
over with. But Batman
I was
gets
happy
there.
then.
I know,
That
right?
was a
Joy
nice break.
in this dismal, grim, depressing world we're inhabiting right now. And I'm not just talking about ours. But
I think I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I think I'm getting my Cornetto trilogy box set out.
Yeah. Think I'm
Oh.
Shaun of the Dead in it tomorrow.
Oh my god. Right. So let's get to the end of this fight. So
Yeah.
Superman is pissed off because Batman is there, and Batman just kind of stays there like a gormless tit without moving or doing anything or saying anything, while Cyborg, Flash, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman try to stop him while he approaches Batman like the fucking Terminator. And I'm like,
Yeah.
the fuck?
I love how he just sidesteps Flash. I was like, oh, he's gonna fall over again.
It's not even fall over. He just crunches into Aquaman and they get planted into the steps. And I'm like, well, that's another instance the Flash should have died.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so...
Superman just straight up headbutting Wonder Woman. I love it.
It's like, okay, so I'm wondering, how does Superman know to stop her gauntlet move? Because he's never seen her do that. We know she can do it, but how does Superman know?
I don't know. He guessed. I don't know. He was like, do you know what? I want to headbutt someone. You'll do.
Oh, yeah. It's like, fair enough, just headbutts her. And then she's like, oh, is that it? Headbutts him back, and he just goes, fuck off. I love the fact that he had to raise himself up and pull her while he did it as well.
Yeah, it's just like, fuck you.
It's...
And Wonder Woman should be dead. But obviously, because she's Wonder Woman, she's fine.
Like that part
Does
made me
anybody
laugh.
else think it's weird the way he just kind of floats through the air? It looks a bit odd to me.
Yeah.
Like, I know he can fly, but it just looks weird that he's just, like, floating towards people. I'm like, nah, I don't know, that's a bit weird to me.
Yeah, because, like...
It looks odd.
It looks bad, but from a technical point of view, but also in terms of framing and all of that, and the way he's so stiff, shockingly. And I'm not just talking about that, but like his whole body is just so unnaturally rigid when he's floating. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's it. It just doesn't look natural. It looks strange to me. Like, it doesn't even look bad. It just looked odd.
Yeah, it's a weird posture that he's having.
But yeah, it's very weird. It's
But,
like someone's pulling him.
I mean, to be fair, he was on a crane now, so... But yeah, absolutely, like... It's... When he's floating, he doesn't look great when he's not in the costume.
No. Looks strange.
Yeah. But hey, thank God Alfred had the common sense of building the gauntlets the day before so that he can protect Bruce Wayne.
That's very true.
Okay, so I want to commend the plant because it gives a reason as to why he's being helped out over here. But at the same time, how lucky that happened the day before.
Oh yeah. Like, and they hadn't even come up with this plan.
I know, right? Oh, imagine if they did. Oh, would have been even better. But,
oh, excuse me, sorry.
Bless you. I also love the fact that there's a policeman and a soldier just standing there, not doing anything while Batman is getting roasted.
Yeah, they're just like, he'll be fine.
Yeah,
it's Batman.
It's Batman. But like,
I swear, this Batman from the end of BVS onwards just has a death wish.
Yeah.
Like that's the default setting we've seen him in.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna.
Interesting how one of the gauntlets held up longer than the other. If only they held up the same amount, he would be fucking roasted. Oh, but do you know what? This is something I remember from Justice League, and I remember liking it in the cinema when I watched it as well. And it's when like there's clear recognition from Clark, who's like, "You, Batman, you're the fucker that tried to kill me."
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, oh, okay, so there's a reason why he's going after Batman so hardcore. And then I even liked the line where he was like, you won't let me live, you won't let me die, you piece of shit human being, I'm gonna roast you. And it's like, none of that's in this film.
I could get behind that.
Yeah, because there's reasoning.
I feel like that's how I'd feel too. I'd be like, you leave me alone, I was dead.
Yeah, you know, and it's like...
dead. Like a zombie.
Doesn't the theatrical cut also have the line, do you bleed?
Oh yeah, he repeats, do you bleed back to Batman.
Yeah, I didn't like that one, but
I didn't like him saying that, but at least there was recognition, whereas here, he's just fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, blind Terminator, going off on the kill. Like, there's personality in that
it's time for Smurfs.
one. Why is this film making me compliment Justice League?
I don't want to.
I don't think that's what its intention was, but here we are. Oh, does that mean I'm gonna have to watch the theatrical cut too?
Oh god, imagine if our hot take is, yeah, Justice League is better. Oh my god, that would ruin me.
That would make me cry. Also, I don't want to watch it.
I don't
I'm
want...
done with this movie for a good while, if ever.
Like, I spent 4 years in ignorant bliss, just thinking, Justice League is as bad as Justice League was gonna get, and now we're complimenting that over this. How do we come to this point in life? Fucking hell. Anyway, Lois comes along, and it's a good thing that she decided to go to the memorial one last time instead of listening to Martha Manhunter.
Coincidence.
Ugh.
Perfect coincidence.
And also, like, Superman goes off at the, like, breaking the sound barrier, and I'm just expecting Lois to just be a visual mess.
Smush.
Yep.
Like,
Smoosh Lois.
Like, I'm expecting her lungs to be emptied, going how fast they're going.
She should be a Lois smoothie at this point.
Oh my god. Like, if he was trying to kill her all along.
Yikes.
Like,
Spoilers.
Lois is the key! Save her from Superman! Oh. But, okay, so a little thing, I do like how Aquaman just gives Barry an angry point. And
Yeah.
Flash just goes, I am so sorry. Like,
I like that moment as well.
It's a cherry on top of the pile of shit. Oh.
There are
I love how he
moments
sideways glances at him like, please don't hurt me.
There are moments that we like.
Yeah, like you gotta dig for them, but they're there.
I've just got images of Aquaman going, what's it he does in Phoenix, right? Hold it!
Objection!
That's it. He also says hold it a bunch as well, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just pointing a Flash like, objection! That's all I can think of.
Oy. But you know what? In all of this carnage, if Batman had gone to save the mother box, guess what? It would have been safe. Instead of these guys just looking around all freaking gormless, just going, oh my god, I guess we better do something about that box, right? I know. Yeah, just a bit of urgency.
Yeah. Why didn't Batman go for the box, considering he was not there for most of that fight? I was just like, why? Give me a reason why you were not there. What were you doing? Were you having a cup of tea with Alfred?
I mean, to be
He was
fair,
too busy doing Chariots of Fire.
he was too busy doing Chariots of Fire, trying to catch up to them because
Exactly.
he's human. And it's like he was waiting for the Uber to get there. That's all.
Why didn't he just take the Batmobile or something? Or does he not have a Batmobile anymore?
Actually, he does have the Batmobile. He was fixing it up. So how did he get to the plant in the first place if they were all going separately? The Batmobile should be close by. Yeah. Why didn't he just use that? Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm saying.
God damn it, Amy, you made it worse.
I'm sorry.
Oh, this film. But, okay.
I'm actually laughing to deal with the pain now.
So, Silas, being the big brain man he is, takes the box and takes it back into the room. The lab, rather. And Steppenwolf is angry that the box is not there, so he goes all spiky man.
You angry boy.
Yeah, and jumps into the lab. Now, I don't know what Silas's actual plan was. Because if it was to destroy the box, then he failed miserably because that didn't happen. And if we were to go by what the League said and say, oh, hey, he was actually superheating it so that we can track it, and I'm like, okay, so here's the thing. Cyborg is made of...
How do you know to do that?
I know. Like, how did he assume that he was going to do that so that the League can find him? Fucking weird. And also, like, there was no need to do that from the start because Cyborg is made from the same technology the mother boxes are, so there's a trackable signature anyway, now that it's active. Why not just trace that?
Because we need to have Silas be a hero.
In vain, but sure.
And we need him to die for drama because they like killing superheroes' parents and superhero stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so the execution of Silas's death is about on par with Jonathan Kent in Man of Steel. It is so terribly executed.
It's bad.
So, Cyborg comes down, and oh my god, like, you know how Cyborg's like, oh my god, Dad, no way! Like, Cyborg, you can hack into anything, just stop the laser.
Yeah.
You know? And also, later on, Steppenwolf is standing in front of the laser. Cyborg, turn the laser on now. Like, roast his crotch. It's right in front of you. Please, just do something, Cyborg. What he just... like, he did nothing.
You could argue he was in shock, but at the same time, no.
Like, see, that would help if I understood how Cyborg worked, because he's human, sure, but he's able to think at the speed of a supercomputer.
If he had some trauma or something, and he just, like, kind of, I don't know, something to do with, oh, my mum died, now my dad's dying in front of me, I'm having trauma, I don't know. Something,
like,
but I'm just reaching.
I guess that's what they were implying, but when... Okay, so in the montage where we get to see him do all the incredible things, we see just how simple everything is, you know, launching all the world's nukes with a wave of his hand. If that's how easy it is, this should be a piece of cake. You know? Just... This is... Just like the Man of Steel one, this is an example of how the father could have been saved, but the heroes just chose not to. I don't like that. Like,
That's iffy.
Hero should be saving people. Just saying. But he dies just like Dr. Manhattan dies in Watchmen, so I guess that's cool.
Gotta give him the Terminator 2 moment.
Yeah. Also, fucking what's his face? Steppenwolf has a big fuck-off axe that can melt shit when it touches it, and I think he hit him with the pommel instead of slicing him all the way across. And I'm like, why?
Gotta continue the plot.
As it's in the script.
Like, you gotta make sure the heroes have a chance.
Like, Cyborg should be half right now. And also, do you know what? Where's the rest of the League? Where's Wonder Woman? Where's Aquaman? And you know what? If only there was someone who can travel really fast in the team.
Wonder Woman, use your Amazon box powers. Come on.
I was talking about Flash, but...
I know. I'm just making a terrible joke.
Okay.
They all saw how much fun Batman was having and wanted to join in.
They wanted to do the Chariots of Fire run too.
Oh my god.
He was showing them how to do it.
Like, Batman and the rest of the League are waiting for their Ruber to come back. Oh... But then he gloats, stands in front of the big fuck-off 3 million Kelvin laser, and Cyborg doesn't activate it. And I'm like, you had the perfect chance to end it, bro. You just chose not to.
You took the monologue bait. When they're monologuing, that's when you get them.
And it wasn't even an epic monologue. He just read, now begins the end, and then just fucked off. And I'm like, that's plenty of time to charge it up and fire.
Yeah. As soon as he starts speaking, just be like, right shit. It's my moment.
Aye.
Clearly, he's not played any video games.
Apparently not.
Because that's just like, that's what you do in boss fights.
That's,
You're like, haha, they're distracted and talking. Beat them up.
that's rule 101.
Yeah.
Oh, like in Persona 5 with the Kamoshida. But
Yep.
yeah, Aquaman says a baffling line here. It's like that kid's dad's dead because of us, and I'm like, kind of, yeah, you're kind of inept in this fight.
You guys weren't here. You were off doing whatever. So yeah, it is your fault. You guys suck.
Absolutely.
Fix it.
And then Batman comes along and says, "Oh, hey, actually, he didn't die in vain." And I'm like, "Oh, well, Batman, thank God you finally arrived. You know, after everyone else."
Yeah.
Do you know that meme from The Office where it's Dwight talking, and then Angela creeps up on him from behind,
And he's like,
and then he's shocked, and
Yeah.
that's Batman in this film.
Oh.
It actually is.
Evidently, though, Cyborg finds out from the equations that were written inside the room, inside the glass box, that is the temperature of the sun. Oh, hey, actually, it just superheated it from inside. And I'm like, okay, how strong?
If you say so.
Wait, how strong is this glass from protecting it from the temperature of the sun? How is it, like, sustained inside there? Like, how? I don't quite think, like...
It's very well made.
The scientisms in this film is just all over the place.
Definitely.
Oh.
But I guess we've just got to go with it's very well made.
Oh.
Which is just... no.
I guess to finish this segment on, I do like how Bruce just goes, "We can track it through one of our satellites," and Flash goes, "You have a satellite? I have 6. Like, oh, I kind of chuckled at that point.
Yeah.
Your superpower really is being rich.
Your power is money. And then he just like shoots money out like Spider-Man.
That's a power. That kind of reminds me of Heroes, season 2, where it had the guy who can turn anything into gold, if you remember.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I vaguely remember. I hadn't watched Heroes in so long.
I haven't seen it since airing, so I just remember bits and pieces.
I've never seen it.
Oh my god.
Like
That's
I think you'd like it.
Season 1 is fantastic. Season
I've
2...
heard
I don't remember any other seasons, but season 1, that might be the only season I ever watched of it, you know?
Honestly, just watch season 1. Because the rest of the seasons are shit.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that I shouldn't watch Heroes Reborn?
Oh, I forgot that's the thing.
Oh, what now? I didn't know what that was.
I just watched the first season of Heroes. You'll be fine.
Okay.
But yes, we have come to the end of that chapter.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. 2 more to go of this hell.
It's one of the shorter of the chapters. It was only 30 minutes, thank God.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we can finish the do you know what? I doubt it, because the last chapter has so much wrong with it. And the epilogue has so much wrong with it.
The last chapter, yeah. And the epilogue is just gonna... I think the epilogue's gonna be the longest one, you know?
It wouldn't surprise me. And that's the shortest one.
The funny thing is, though, with the epilogue, we can get right through it by saying, didn't like this, didn't like this, didn't like this, didn't like this.
Yeah, we can just get through there like bad, terrible, worst. Get rid of it. Slice it all out.
To jump ahead to the epilogue, like, you know how a lot of people, like, criticize the Lord of the Rings epilogue for being so long? And I'm here like, it's not. Whereas here it's like, the epilogue was great. And I'm here like, it's not. It's the complete inverse.
It's not good.
But it's like...
The Joker didn't even say we live in a society, and I was just like, why did you put that in the trailer?
Do you know what? The black and white version, he says it in an alternate take of the scene. Yeah, I saw it, and it's like, oh my god, it's cringe here as well. It's great.
I was just like, why did you put it in the trailer,
I wanted
but
to
not
see.
in the film?
But
I want-
why?
I wanted to see Jesus Joker, and I didn't get to.
Yeah, I was like, where's Jesus Joker?
Oi. But
I wanted to see the terribleness.
yeah,
Also, it just looks like he ate soup.
messily.
Fix the fucking face,
You
guys,
know-
man. Come
You know
on.
what his face reminds me of? You know when you try to eat melted chocolate and none of it would just go in your mouth?
Yeah.
That's what it
Can't say
reminds
I've
me
ever
of.
tried that, but I'll take.
Oh my
your
god, he
word
looks
for it.
like when a toddler tries to eat chocolate for the first time.
Yes.
That's what he looks like.
Yes.
And I'm just like, you can't even get his mouth right. What the fuck?
Oi.
I was like, at least he's not covered in tattoos that say damaged and like all that, but still.
A tattoo remover does wonders, apparently, in the post-apocalyptic world.
Hell yeah.
I was like, why don't you make it cool and just make it so that he chopped his own tattoos off? That'd be badass.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
We went there.
I
Like,
went there.
I can just imagine
I
him
mean,
with
he
a
cuts
butcher
his own
knife.
face off in the comics, so why not?
True,
know?
true.
Yeah.
And this is the Snyder cut that's rated R.
And
I
then
know.
sticks it back on. He cuts his face off and then sticks it back on because why wouldn't you do that?
I gotta admit, I do like Death of the Family from New 52.
It's
That was a
good.
pretty dope arc.
It is very good. I do enjoy it.
But that is chapter 5. Oh my god. Like, I love how we spent like half an hour on the first minute and then just
Yeah.
blitzed through the rest of it. Oh.
There wasn't really,
Good times, good
yeah,
times.
there wasn't really much to say about the rest of it other than why. But why? And
Yeah.
also, have you considered why?
Boy. But you know what? This is 2 hours long, this episode so far, and we have
Nice.
at this point hit 9 hours and 15 minutes of talking about
Oh.
Justice League.
Oh, yeah, I think I am done with this movie after we have finished talking about it. Like, done.
Same.
David, you lost the bet. I'm gonna guess you lose the bet at 10 hours.
A bit. Oh. Oh, wait, yeah,
we can
made a
do
bet.
it, guys.
We got this.
Just push, push, push! It's like that coach from
we can
Not
do
Another
this
Teen
through it.
movie.
Don't tell me to push, I'll have PTSD.
Oh my god.
I'm
we can blitz through.
We can do it.
It's gonna be like the coach out of Not Another Teen movie. If you guys have seen it, it's like the
Yes.
guy's literally dead, and he's like, "Be straight with me,
You
Doc.
can do it.
Can he play?" Like he's dead.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, Doc? It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, I love that
movie's
film.
so dumb. It's so great. I love it.
Chris Evans should go back to doing comedy. He's great.
He's so good in that movie. Like, it's like he's a completely different person. Like, I
Oh.
forget he's in that movie.
I know. God, I want to watch that now.
Watch it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm firmly of the belief that this is only better than Wonder Woman 84 in terms of quality.
Yeah, it's just about
And
skin of its teeth.
the only reason Wonder Woman 84 is gonna remain last is because of the rape issue.
Yeah.
Like, if that wasn't there, I'm genuinely thinking that this might be the worst.
Oh, I don't know. I just have so many issues with Wonder Woman 84. The
Yeah.
writing, the pacing, the everything, the
The
fact
ev-
that it exists.
The everything. But
I don't like that movie. I was genuinely angry when I watched that movie, and I was like, I'm never watching this again. I'm very angry at Patty Jenkins.
oh yeah.
The end.
Like, think how sad that is though. Like, Zactus League is only better than Wonder Woman 84 in this arc.
No. Dang it. Oh well.
And we still haven't gotten to the worst parts yet. That's the worst.
No.
That's the sad part.
I'm so not excited for the epilogue. I'm just like, it's just bad.
Like, I know we were memeing before we started this, around when we were doing BVS and Man of Steel. But when me and David brought up Justice League and we were talking about, oh yeah, like that was so great. Like now I'm genuinely worried I might think Justice League is better.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, at least you can argue one thing. Steppenwolf looks much better in this version than the other version.
He does.
Definitely. And
Do you know what?
I actually think that he's imposing in this one.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a great character, but he's imposing.
Yeah. Like, writing is still terrible, but at least he looks like a badass motherfucker.
Yeah.
At least I'm like, oh, this is kind of tense.
Yeah. I was like, I wouldn't want to piss him off. He might spike me.
With one of his many spikes.
Mm-hmm.
Spiky dude.
He's like a super angry hedgehog.
Yeah. Oh my god, Sonic. But do you know what? I put it in the group chat earlier, but I was to recap so that I can refresh my memory on this chapter because it's been a couple of weeks. I decided to watch it in the black and white version, and I prefer that look actually. Even when it comes to Steppenwolf, he looks better in the black and white version. Maybe that's because the colors are not there, and it's just two colors to worry about. But yeah,
it's funny. I feel as though the theatrical cut was like it had a lot of colors to it. Let's say
it's my god, it's nauseating the colors in the theatrical.
It is.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it really is. Like it's really a hyper sensory experience watching the theatrical cut, and then when it comes to the Snyder cut and the rest of the films in this trilogy, let's say, it's all like desensitized.
Yeah, it's very desaturated and
desaturated. That's what it meant.
Like it was filmed for the desaturation as well. Whereas with Justice League, they're desperately trying to pull color out that it just looks so watered down. Like I'll actually send you a picture because I've got one here.
And I just want them to meet in the middle.
I know, right? Just have some color, just not too much. Just have a happy balance.
Definitely.
Discord, there we go. And then over here. And there we go.
Yeah.
Like, it looks so less than pretty.
Definitely.
Oh my god, it looks orange.
Oh. Well.
Like, why is it so orange? Are they in the desert?
It's bright red. No, that's exactly where the finale of this film takes place, in the middle of Russia somewhere.
Just like, what?
Like
it looks like it looks like one of the nightmare scenes, or like, from Batman vs Superman, or like the epilogue part. It just looks way too orange.
Yeah, and it's like, even when we see the Superman fight that we just talked about, like all the you know how when you go to an editing software you just crank up the saturation? That's what it looks like.
It's not a good look.
No, it's not. Why? But yeah, in terms of the visual aesthetic of it, there's a good comparison actually. I'll send that as well. Save image as bum bum bum. There we go. And send.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh Jesus Christ, that's way too red. Who coloured that? Jesus Christ. Like, I'm not a great editor, I am mediocre at best, but even I know that's just wrong.
Well, it's a film, loosely.
It exists.
It is loosely acceptable as considered a film. But yeah, well, we've got 2 things to get through, and then on the 18th, hopefully, we'll get the big discussion going and just put this in its coffin, nail it up, put it in the ground, and never talk about it again. Hopefully.
Yes.
Oh, like, just let it sink in. I thought like 5 weekends would be plenty of time to talk about this, and we still have to do extra sessions.
Oh my.
Excuse me.
Bless thee. So before we finish, do you guys have any closing thoughts you want to say before we say goodbye?
This movie bad.
Very simple.
But I also weirdly enjoyed it.
The conversation or the film?
The film, before we got to this part anyway.
Oh. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I've brought up so many issues with this film. And despite that, even when I watched bits and pieces of watched the chapter today, I was still engaged. I did still enjoy it. Emotionally, I do like it. But intellectually, oh my god.
Yeah,
like,
it didn't make me want to turn it off. Like with Wonder Woman 84, I legit was like, I don't think I can finish this. But I was like, I want to know what happens at the end to see how bad it is.
oh, yeah.
It was morbid curiosity that kept me going with that. But with this one, I was like, I genuinely want to see where they go with it. And there were parts where I was like, "Ooh, are they going to do this with it?" And then I was disappointed. But, you know, there were still parts where I was like, "Ooh, what are they going to do?"
Maybe they're going to use imagination. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh well. It was a nice thought for a minute there.
It's
yeah.
one of.
I was just saying, yeah, like, as in to end my point, sorry. If it seemed like I was carrying on.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
It's a weird one. It's like there are so many problems with this film, but I remember stepping out of the theatrical cut and just feeling so dissatisfied.
Yeah.
Whereas coming out of this film, although there are problems with it, I did come out of it thinking I actually enjoyed that in spite of its problems.
Yeah, same here. Like, the theatrical cut made it feel like a really bad breakup, whereas this, I was like, I want to see what happens next.
Yeah.
It's such a strange experience because it's one of those where I'm like, oh yeah, this is full of problems, but I also really enjoyed it. Like, the theatrical cut I didn't enjoy very much. But this one I came out of thinking, oh, you know, it's all right. like it's got loads of problems, but at least on an enjoyment level, I enjoyed it more despite the overbearing runtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is one of the big issues we were talking about. Like, this film, if this was like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour film, you know, without as much slow motion and with the additional scenes cut, you know, the shots ending where they should end, like, and you make it like a nice, neat 3 hour film, like, there would be a lot less issues to talk about. Like, what's really hurting this film is attrition. Like, the longer it goes, the more problems it has, and the more it breaks down.
Yeah.
Length really is not its friend.
Definitely.
Which is surprising, considering, I mean, in Batman v Superman, it was the same thing. The closer it got to the end, the more it started to fall apart, so...
Yeah. I feel like it's probably very difficult to end massively big movies like this.
I suppose it depends, because, like, I mean... Okay, let's go back to Infinity War. Big film. But it ended on a huge cliffhanger, and it was like, oh my god, I want to know what happens next. And even though Endgame was tiz me as all hell, it was incredibly satisfying. You know, so it's possible. Execution, I guess, is the big issue here. Big issue. But yeah, what were you saying, David?
I was just gonna say that also along the way with each of these films. I feel as though the it's weird because the characters are the same, but the journeys are different in specific ways. Like whether it be with Cyborg, who has the most significant change in the two cuts of the film, or how different the portrayal of Superman is in the two very different cuts, and then you've also got two different sets of humor as well. Personally, neither film has great humor. It's one of those where the humor in the theatrical cut, I'm like, oh no, I don't like that because that's not funny and it's not great. Like you've got the scene where Flash falls on
Wonder Woman.
chest.
Oh my god, that was
yeah.
cringe.
And
Oh,
it's
do you
like,
know
no,
what?
that's awful. Like
Do you
that's
know what?
awful. Why is that in there?
I just read an article, right? Apparently, Joss Whedon threatened to ruin Gal
Gadot's career alongside Patty Jenkins. Yeah, I know.
Over a line, and then that scene got mentioned in the article. So I don't know if there was supposed to be a line involved in there as well that she was supposed to say, and she was like, "I don't want to say it."
Apparently, because it's all I've been doing today, like listening to all the different commentators talk about this article, because Cyborg finally came clean and told everything, and Gal Gadot apparently was not satisfied with the fact that her character was far more aggressive in this film, in Joss's script, compared to the previous ones, and she was not a fan of that. So allegedly he took her to another room and threatened her that she'll never work again, and threatened Patty Jenkins as well alongside that. It's all yet to be confirmed, but those are the allegations at the moment. And then there's issues about Ray Fisher's stuff where
I know about Ray Fisher's stuff.
Yeah. So the Gal Gadot thing, like, she did come out and say she reported some mistreatment on set way back, just after Ray Fisher came out as well, but this is the first actual accusations we've been getting, but none of them have been proven yet, but these are serious fucking accusations.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Jesus Christ. It's insane.
Yeah. Like, fucking hell, man. Like,
Hollywood's fucked up.
Yeah. But it's mad because, like, you got Joss Whedon, who, for all intents and purposes, these days, more and more shit's been coming out about him and seems like an absolute piece of shit. But then his work, Buffy, beloved, Firefly, beloved, and then more people are coming out and saying he was a tyrant in those projects, and it's like, holy shit.
Yeah. And it just makes you feel bad about enjoying it. And I'm like, I've not finished Buffy yet. And I was just like, no, I don't even know if I want to finish it.
And then you've got guys like Zack Snyder, who clearly has a fantastic relationship with everyone he works with, but makes shit films. And I'm just like, fucking hell, if Zack can make a good film, I'd be so happy for him.
Yeah.
But I'm glad there are guys like Zack in the industry, because it's like, there are nice people, and that's why Henry Cavill, Keanu is like, it gives me hope for humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just sad.
Bit of a downer to end the episode on, but it did come out.
Sorry, guys. But yeah, it did recently come out, and literally just popped up on my news. And like you were talking about the scene, so it just popped into my head. But on a positive note, Snyder is not a dickhead, as far as I know. So that's good.
He seems really lovely, and
he seems like a very nice person.
Like,
all of his casts couldn't speak more highly of him, and I think that says a lot about him as a person.
Absolutely, and there's got to be a reason.
That's what you want from a director.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason why they keep coming back to work with him.
Yeah, exactly. And rounding back to the point that I was making about the humor, it's one of those where the theatrical cut had scenes where I was like, oh yeah, that's not good, that's not okay, that should not be in there. Whereas the humor in the Snyder cut, I'm just like, oh, that just doesn't work for me. Personally,
Yeah.
it's not funny. Like it's not offensive in any way. It's just it
not
doesn't
funny.
work.
Like
for
you
me.
can get,
Yeah.
you can see the joke, and you can see it trying
Yeah.
to please you. It just doesn't come off all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Whereas
like,
the theatrical
yeah.
cut had stuff like the Wonder Woman Flash scene, where I was like, no, just cut that out of the film. It shouldn't be there. It shouldn't have been suggested.
I know, it's just gross.
And
I was
that's
just like,
weird
wait,
because-
that's actually a scene in it? I was like, oh my god,
Like,
I'm not
it's-
watching this movie.
It's mad because that's the second time Joss has done that in, like, because in Age of
Yeah.
Ultron he did the same thing as well, and I'm like, fuck's sake, it's
Thought
not a
it
good
was
joke,
wrong
man.
there, too.
Stop doing it.
It's
Yeah.
not good. Thought it was wrong there too.
It wasn't
Stop
funny
it,
in the
it's not
60s.
funny.
It's not funny now. Please stop doing it.
Yeah. It's gross. Just
Mm.
no.
Absolutely.
Anywho, on that note,
Anyway.
yeah, like, to end on a positive, like, genuinely, like you were saying, David, like, Zack Schneider genuinely looks like the kind of guy you could go to a bar, get a drink with, and talk about films for 3 hours and have a good time with.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah.
So do I.
I like the idea that he's a really wholesome dude, from
Yeah,
what I've read about him and seen from interviews, so. Yay!
it's the only reason why I'm on Vero. So, yeah, on that note, well, the Gal Gadot news will be old news by the time this episode comes out, but, you know, we're trying to get ahead of things so that, you know, we're not going to be in a rush to always get an episode done every week, so it's all
Yeah.
good. We're getting into the swing of things properly after half a year. But,
Yeah.
getting better, that's the mantra, so yeah. Thank you everyone for watching up until this point in the conversation. I hope you've had a lovely time, and we will see you in the next one, so ta-ta, cheerio.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye!